Good evening and welcome to the FA Challenge Cup Finalist show here on islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me is the North Village Rams head coach, Calvin Patches-Dill, and Jalen Harvey, deputizing for the captain this evening. Gentlemen, first of all, congratulations on making it this far, you'll be defending your title on the day. Patches, I've got a funny scenario I think you'll chuckle at. You and Giroux win the FA Cup. You win the league. Giroux wins the league. What's next?
Triple Crown. Hey, Triple Crown now.
Okay. Well, one of the things that you guys, I guess, sought for the start of the season, from the start of the season, was to defend the FA Cup as well as the league title, but it didn't work out for the league title. But throughout this campaign for the FA, Patches, how has the team kind of gelled to ensure that the focus stays on keeping some piece of silverware that you worked so hard last year to get?
Well, yeah, at the beginning, that's what it was, to defend what we had. You know what I mean? And we as the coaching staff and as the players talked about, let's see if we can defend what we have. So now the thing that we have to defend is the FA. And I think the boys are geared up for it, you know what I mean, and ready to go. We're gonna put some hard work in this week and be ready to go. But yeah, we have to defend something and keep something at hand.
Jalen, for the players' sake, I mean, you guys had a tremendous season last year. This season hasn't gone as well as maybe you guys would have wanted it to. But personally, for you've scored quite a few goals to keep your team in it. I know you guys had some injuries. You also had players out through work commitments and other commitments and so forth. But how has this journey been for you guys, for you this season?
Yeah, it's been a difficult season for the team, I think, but I think our camaraderie and our talent has really kept us, in a respectful position. In the league, obviously, we always want to reach for that top spot. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that, but we're happy that we're still in this FA Cup for a fourth year running. So we hope to bring that trophy home, and as a team, we're very excited for Sunday coming.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had an exciting year. You opened your field up, lights, and the whole bit. Patches, do you think there was some distractions in all of that for the team?
I wouldn't say too much distractions, you know what I mean? I thought would have been nice to have been on the field a little earlier for our preseason. You know what I mean? That might have helped us jumpstart our season, But again, to me, it's been a lot of things, whereas the defense has done their part, and I think we just lacked in scoring early in the season. Remember, we was missing like Joy, you know what I mean? And then we had brought in some new faces to play in their roles. But, overall, I think it was a lot of chances that we missed.
Right.
That might have had us right there in the league title again, because we at one point we was right there.
Yeah,
we was right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What has it been like for you? And I guess I have to include your family, because you come from a player's background and right through to a coach, and your family's been kind of involved. Well, you might as well say the family's in North Village kind of thing. But what has that been like for you from a player's aspect now into the coaching realm of North Village? Because you have a lot of guys who will coach somewhere else, but you've been in this family for so long.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Like, you know what I mean? It's a pleasure to be representing my club, my community club, North Village, where that's where I learned my trade. So it's been a pleasure to be back at North Village and help them still stay successful.
Right.
So yeah, it's kudos to them, because they still get in my ear about certain things if I'm doing it wrong. You know what I mean? And also, if I'm doing it right, they command me on doing it right.
Right. And Jalen, coming through the ranks of North Village and just being able to represent this prestigious club how how has that been for you? Like in your entire career of football, how has this journey been for you?
Yeah, when you're a child, you kind of take it for granted. It's all that you really know. But being a man now, one of the older guys on the team is just kind of crazy to say. They keep calling me uncle on the team. Um, but I really have a great deal of respect for the leadership of the club and the
Mhm.
fans. You know, no one needs to be there, but they all choose to be there for the club. And for that reason, every time I'm tired and I feel like I can't sprint, I'm doing it for them more than I'm doing it for myself a lot of the time. So, just seeing the camaraderie from the North Village Community Club as an adult has really been phenomenal to be at this stage and appreciate.
Yeah, 4 years in a row, Jalen. 4 years in a row.
Hmm.
Oh, that is something. I mean, I was looking through the records and I couldn't. I was just trying to figure out if somebody else had been on that journey that many times, and I think it was one other team. But 4 years in a row to the same place to end the season.
Hmm.
Um, that did, obviously you've had the highs and you've had the lows. Um, but what would you say? That, how special is this one as opposed to the others?
Yeah, that you made me think of a Tom Brady quote when they asked him, which Super Bowl is his favorite, and
Hmm.
his response is the next one. So this one's more important than the rest. We've been in three prior, and we've won two of them, but we only focus on this one on Sunday. And yeah, we're looking forward to lifting that silverware.
Yeah, actually, North Village were in five straight finals from 2002, 2001, 2002 season to 2005, 2006.
Okay.
Um, so, yeah, the only everybody else was two times. Yeah, so I mean, when you look at that Young Man Social Club with three, but when you look at what you've been able to accomplish and be consistent in the FA, it must say something about the structure of the program itself. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It's a mentality. It's the leadership. Um, you know, Leadership has changed this year, but the mentality remains the same as far as demanding success. So we come in the preseason. The coaches, the president, the deputy, the rest of the board, and then the players that have been there already. We all demand a certain level of success and commitment so that when the new guys come in, they got to learn the village way. And, they might have had it somewhere else. So it's great to get players who kind of have that mentality already, but the ones who are new and don't have it, they, it's sink or swim at North Village.
Yeah, Patches, you brought in quite a few young people, and that has been something that North Village has done over the years, breed in young players and so forth. How do you think they have gelled into the formation and the system in which you guys play? You know, how have they set in for the season?
Well, we believe in at North Village that when you come into the team, we will mix you up with the senior players. Yeah, so you automatically you're gonna learn your role, and like Jada said, you're gonna learn the behavior of North Village and what we expect out of you. So, and we are one that's gonna give you the chance.
Mm,
Yeah, if you get your chance, that's what we say. If you get your chance, make the person that you gave that chance, make them have to earn their spot back. So a couple of the youngsters that have come in, and also you have to keep them humble. You know what I mean? You have to keep them humble. So, like I said, most of them that have come in, they played their roles pretty well. You know what I mean? They're stuck in, and they train. They come training on a regular, but it might not just be their time yet because of the senior players that we have there now.
right.
You know what I mean? So we have to just keep building them in. Like I said, from way back in the day, that's how you came in. You might get that one special one that might be saying, all right, cool, y'all regular for us. But then you got the friends ones that we have to keep nurturing them, because at the end of the day, these guys that's out are getting retired sooner or later. You know what I mean? They got families. But this guy has to be ready once these guys decide to make that move.
Yeah. One thing has to be noted. You guys in Devonshire Colts have had some battles this season, and it seems like Colts has had that one up on you this time around. Because last season you had the ones up on them, but this season they seem like they've got your number. How does one combat that? Like in the final game of the season, you've got to figure out. And they have three front runners scoring at will this season. So you got a job cut out for you.
Yes, again, and I knew the guys, I knew the players that village liked each other.
Mm.
Yeah. So we're gonna put ourselves this week and organizing ourselves to make sure that we adapt to what they want, how they play, and I also make sure that we're 110% ready for the battle.
Yeah. Jalen, it's been a while since you found the back of the net. Are you eager to score on Sunday?
No, I scored. I didn't score this. I didn't score yesterday, but I scored the weekend before.
Yes, and it was a
gap
bit before
between,
that.
Yeah, it was a gap between that. So I was happy I was able to end that streak.
Right.
But yeah, I'm eager to score on Sunday for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The prospects of playing at the National Sports Center, Patches, when you would have been growing up, it was like the mecca of places to play in Bermuda because you earned the right to play there. Of late, they've been having matches there. Has that significant shine of playing the FA Cup at the National Stadium wore off just a little bit because of how regular games have been played there?
No, that's the carpet. That's the carpet. That's where the internationals play. We don't get to play up there. We don't get to play up there regular. So that's the carpet. So that we look forward to getting up the carpet.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We look forward. And I could go back some time when I first got into coaching. I had Jamiko, Kofi, Daniel, a few other guys, Kaya Dow, Jamie Smith,
Right.
Ricardo Brangman, Ian Henderson. And it was cool. What was it? I can't remember the competition. But we used to go up there every year. Every year for about 3-4 years, Village was up there in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the Crystal Palace or was
Crystal
that
Palace, yes.
Yeah, Crystal
Yes,
Palace.
yes. For about 4 or 5 years straight.
Right.
Macy was with me at the time, coaching with me.
Mm.
And we used to go up there, and that was like our highlight of the season. We're getting up the carpet. You know what I mean? And looking at these group of players too. No, that's what they say. We're getting up the carpet.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now, obviously, on the day, things change. You do special things leading up to the FA Cup. And the game starting at 4, so it's an hour later than what you usually do. But how much of preparation, like how much things do you guys look to do on the morning of the game to get everybody in kind of the right frame of mind, everybody on the same page before you get to the field?
I like to make sure that what you gather from early in the morning, if possible. So we actually, hopefully, we're gonna do it again this year. We have a conference breakfast in the morning. I usually be at the president's house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guys will sit around. There's a game when we watch the game. But it's also important to be vibing off the field, so that when we get on the field, we carry that same vibe. You know, so it's all that type of preparation. You know, pretty guys got them away from their families. That day is ours.
Right.
You know what I mean? From early morning, that day is ours. Come away from your family, all the headaches we all have met him, whatever. You know what I mean? And we release all that there, come relax, and then we go DFT business.
Jalen, let me ask you, are you a player that likes that type of thing? Or because you have some people who like to be in the earned space and don't like to be around a lot of people and just want to, limit the amount of talk around them and so forth. So what type of player are you? Do you favor that?
So typically, I'm the second. I like to kind of be in my own space on a regular Sunday. I'm one of those players where I get no matter how big or small the game, I get very nervous. Just kind of my process my body goes through.
Right.
So for a final, I think it distracts me a little bit to have that break from what I'm used to, and our team getting together. I think you kind of asked, and we'll give you a bit of the secret sauce, but that's what we do every FA Cup,
right,
as a team, and it goes a long way. So I would say typically I would prefer to be kind of just relaxing before a game on my own, but the day of FA Cup, I think it's all about that team camaraderie.
Patches, when you look back at some of your accomplishments as a coach, where does this season, the whole season, I know we still have the FA Cup to be played, but where does this season stand?
It stands rated highly, stands highly. You know what I mean? Because it's a pleasure for me to be getting on there with my coaching staff and helping these guys to keep going and maintaining that level of the game. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we don't pay these guys, but these guys show up. Guaranteed they're showing up. So you know what I mean? So going through my coaching achievements, this season's up there with it too.
Yeah. When you look at, because I like how you often mention, your coaching staff, because it's always good to know that it's a team of people working as opposed to just one individual. But how often do you guys talk about football in general, you and your coaching staff?
Whenever we get together, we had talk about something about the game, what we could be doing, what we could do better. Okay. You know what I mean? As a staff.
Right. So you mostly talk about what you can do with the team that you have in front of you, kind of thing.
Yes. And and all that type of stuff. And because most of us my family, so we always getting together somewhere, and the football tour comes one time.
Right. How has the VO system helped progress football in Bermuda? Because all these clubs have them, and they're able to look back over games and position and talk to players about positioning and so forth. How has that system helped the game in Bermuda?
We actually coaches. Some guys will game and look at certain things. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm like this. These teams don't change. If they change, they tweak a little bit. You know what I mean? PACs play for PAC football, coach plays coach football. We have our style of football. But we could also go back and say, in this moment, what could we have done? You know what I mean? Or in this moment, how could we have stopped that goal or stopped this play? So yes, it does help a lot.
Yeah. Jalen, playing up the carpet as opposed to be playing at Bernard Park, surface-wise, we all know the carpet is a fast field. We know that. And sometimes it takes a while for players to get adjusted to that situation. But being that this is you guys' fourth consecutive time up there, do you think, even for the new player, do you think it's going to take them long to adjust, or how do you as a senior player, encourage that person to especially in the warm up to get a touch of that pace and understand what that pace is like?
Well, the good thing, the core of our team have played up there for the past few years, like we've discussed, but a lot of the new guys that are coming in, play for the national squad. So they've played up there also, within the starting 11 at least. So I think we're very confident and looking forward to a flat surface too. You kind of have to in Bermuda, no matter what. We was actually having a debate yesterday of what's the best field on the island, and it was kind of like we was having a laugh. And obviously it was outside of the carpet,
right?
But when it comes down to it, we're like, yeah, let's just focus on the carpet. At least we get to play. At least we got to play on that once a year.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Oh boy, yeah, because it is funny because you can have debates with a lot of people, and yeah, and that field's got these nuts in it, and this field's got this, and this, they don't cut this field, and Clover's
Mhm.
on that field, so it's kind of a challenge in the league per se, but it's a dream to play on a surface like the National Sports Center.
For sure.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this season and the matchups with Colts. How have you, like in your mind and with your coaching staff, kind of looked at how to negate a lot of what's been given up in the season?
Yeah, again, we have looked at it. We knew the strong points. They had a guy just saw they Samuels and the young guys up front.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so if we could eliminate the balls getting to them, then
Mm-hmm.
that works out for us. You know what I mean? In that aspect of it,
Mm.
start the front line and bring them away from our goal, and then we should be good. Because once we're on the ball
Yeah,
and we take care of the ball, we could be unstoppable.
that's important that you say that, because taking care of the ball, that's got to be a coach's nightmare in Bermuda sometimes when you watch football. That I know players don't mean to give the ball away, but it's just lack of concentration where they're giving up the ball, and you haven't had a chance to settle, and you got players looking to break and so forth now out of position. So how do you over the season, how have you adjusted to that when the balls have been given away in particular areas where you have somebody like Jalen overlapping and now he's out of position?
So you have to take that back to the training ground, yeah? And
Mm-hmm.
we have to constantly work with the ball, constantly work with the ball, passing the ball, controlling the ball. You know what I mean? Constantly do them type of things, repetitious. So now we get comfortable. Play them
Yeah.
little possession games. We have this many touches to score a goal, this many passes and all that type of stuff. So you have to make it
Uh,
repetitious.
right,
But
right.
Like
again,
I'd like to add to that too, if I could.
Good.
Um, and this is just a moment that I was involved in, but in the first FA Cup game against Dandytown, I was actually up the field, and one of our midfielders happened to lose the ball in the middle, which led to a counter attack for Dandytown. And again, it was just my instance that I was involved in it, but
Mm-hmm.
I was sprinting back in prepared for the worst,
Right.
and that's how our team is planning to play. Or that's how our team plays, but that's how our team plans to play on Sunday as well.
Mm-hmm.
When everything seems like it's all right, we make sure that we do the work in advance, cover our bases, get to our assignments earlier, because it's football
Mm-hmm.
and things could change in a split second.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I know at the beginning of the season when you were scoring all those goals, it weren't from set pieces; it was from open play. And I was like,
Mhm.
well, he has the free will of going on that flank and coming on the blind side, because a lot of the balls were coming across, and you was winning the balls in the air, or
Mhm.
and your foot to it. So having that free will and forcing, now you're forced to be an attacker to defend, and some of
Mhm.
them hate doing it. But
Mhm.
how much did you enjoy that part of the season? Because it seemed like you were scoring every week, man.
Yeah, 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 I love it.
uh,
I know what my main role is, and that's to be a core part of the defense. But
Hmm.
I love putting the ball in the back of the net, and during that phase, um, I feel like I was helping my team, kind of just score some well needed goals, and I got to a point where I was teasing them. They couldn't say anything to me. I was like, "Hey, I'm the second highest goal scorer in the team."
yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
still tell him that I think me and Jai might either be tied for second highest on the team now, or he might have overtook me on the
Jai's
team.
got 7.
Okay,
Uh,
well that means I'm got him because I'm got 8 total between league
League
and
and FA and all that.
league
Okay,
and all competitions. I'm got
right,
8.
because you got 5 in the league.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's a little joke that we have between the team. I feel like every answer I make I finished talking about a inside joke between the teams. That just shows our camaraderie.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good thing. It was a good thing. Well, Patrick, you're going to have a lot of people sitting behind you, waiting for you come Sunday. Are you ready?
Yes, we are going to be ready. And me and my staff and my players, we are going to be ready. And no pressure. We're going to enjoy this day. We're going to make our families happy, our community happy. And we're looking for a good game of football. And we know it's going to be a battle.
All right.
You understand it's going to be a battle.
Mm. All right. Well, I want to say all the best to you guys on Sunday. I'm going to be joined next by uh, Devonshire Coach. Got Ray Jones here. Ray, and anything for Patches?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Already
Okay.
back. Yeah, buddy. And I'll catch you guys later.
All right. Okay. All
Cool.
right, Jalen. Have a good
Thanks,
one.
gents. Have a good
Yes,
one.
sir.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, Ray, it's I know we're a bit early, but we can get started. Let's talk. We can talk a bit about your season and then get into the FA Challenge Cup final on Sunday. Um, can you just sum up your season for us?
Yeah, you can hear me, Earl?
Yes, I can hear you.
Cool. I think overall, um, was a decent season. Came a little short in the end. Followed the show all year. I know you guys were surprised with how
Yes.
well how
I,
well we how
how
well
well
we
you
were
played. Yes.
how well we were doing. We
Mhm.
wasn't surprised based on the recruitment class that came in on top of what
Right.
we already had. So we really had ambitions to challenge and potentially win the title. So you were actually were inspiring the team. Your show was inspiring the team because the three of you never seem to give us due credit.
I'm
So
so glad we can help.
you will be surprised that the boys will tune into your show to hear what you, Punchy, and Griff have to say about Devonshire Coates. And so I want to thank you for allowing coaching to be easier for me this year because your show was inspiring the boys to prove the pundits wrong that were her for real. You know?
Well. We put enough. We gave you enough to jump on come Sunday. Let's put it like that. Enough to inspire come Sunday. So the season's not over. But to be honest, I have you guys have surprised me, a pleasant surprise. Only because you often see teams get a good start. We saw what Crossroads were doing. They got a good start, and then they had that mix up in the halfway through the season. But you guys have been consistent, and I think the one thing that kept throwing everybody off was the delay of the either replay or getting the points game, which if you looked at it throughout the season, you were always a game behind and always 3 points behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that sometimes can give you a false, of what's going on throughout the throughout the season.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I would agree. I wish the decision would have been made sooner because school board pressure makes a significant difference, right?
mhm.
And I believe school board pressure probably played a little bit into yesterday's events
Yes,
because it was the first week Dandytown was under threat that if they didn't get 100% result,
right. That's
it
right.
was it was over,
But that's
right?
right. Yeah.
Especially when because both games were on FIFA Plus, and I'm
Hmm.
sure the word went around quite quickly. We were up 2-0 very
Yeah.
early in the game.
12 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
So you know that psychological pressure plays a big difference. So for us, it was disappointing that that game wasn't sorted out sooner,
Hmm.
as you stated, for us to be right there, like maybe 3-4 weeks ago,
Right.
like where 5 points looks like a big lead.
If you
Right.
looked at it, it
That's
looked
just-
like a big, yeah.
And then once we got the Patrick result out of the way, all of a sudden it's like, oh boy, this if they don't play to the level that they have been playing at, then it was a chance we could have slipped in the back door. So, yeah, a little disappointing that it took a while for the association to work through it. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the office, and they were going through the disciplinary committee
Yes.
on that. And then there's some issues sometimes in being able to convene the disciplinary committee, and I think that was part of the major delay in making a decision one way or another.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, like you said, yeah, a decent season. Came up 2 years ago, faded last year after a good start. Pretty much was in the top 3 up into the last 3 games of the season.
Right.
So this year, being able to, I think we probably fell out of the top 3 once or twice just because how games were played over a weekend.
Yes.
But for the most part, we were in that top 3, and that speaks to the consistency and the maturity of the team from 1 year learning the difference between first division and Premier Division. On top of, like I said, the recruitment class, which was a bit more experienced players coming in that's been there, done it before. Yeah.
When you look at the fact that you had Sanaj scored 15, Shamal scored 12, Elijah scored 11. That's girls coming from 3 front runners on a regular basis. How pleasing is it for a coach to stand on the sideline and see 3 guys scoring on a regular, and then you still have other guys who over the years have chipped in, still chipping in?
Yeah, no, it was refreshing. I would say the biggest coaching challenge was to getting them to actually share, right? Some games you can see that that individualism, maybe that greediness, and it's a fine balance, right? Because when you're a forward, you don't want them to become too sharing, because you got to be deadly when you need to be deadly, if you understand, right? So, but looking at those 3 and the talent they possess, they basically have been stressing to them, if you guys just shared a bit more, trust me, you all will end up with girls. And so Naj pretty much carried us in the beginning, when we were racking up girls, he was leading the way. I think teams decided to pay a bit more attention to him. Elijah was consistent throughout, and Shamal pretty much has carried us in the second half. His the one was off to a slow start first half, and just as teams figured, well, let's see if we could slow down Mitchell. Here comes Henry, who's been reliable for Colts, for years. Coming to the forefront and reminding the Bermuda football community of how a top player he actually is. So really, in the second half, I believe he scored maybe 8 or 9 league goals. But
most of his league goals came in the second half of the season.
And then if you look at the cup competition, FA Cup in particular, he scored in every round of that too as well, right? And then the quarterfinal against Crossroads, he got the lane goal to get us into the semifinal.
Without a doubt. We're joined by George. You got to unmute your mic there.
Yeah, sorry, there's a bit of background noise.
Oh, no worries. Oh, and we have Tanika Eve as well. Evening, gentlemen.
Hey, evening, how you doing?
Yeah. Ray, let's get on to the FA Cup, because I want to take you back, Ray, because last time Colts were in the final, they were in the first division, right?
Yes, first division being promoted to Premier.
Taking on a Boulevard team that at the time was running hot.
Yes, they were. They had a very exciting front line at the time.
Yes. But take us back to that particular game, because what work you guys put in from the coaching standpoint to get the players to believe in themselves that they can actually do it and get over the line, because on the FA you had to play higher opposition, but that in the first division you was playing, every week weren't as tough as that FA Cup was going to be. But just take us through, if you can remember, some of the things that you guys went through, put the players through mentally and physically to be prepared for that FA Cup.
Yeah, so I mean, I still remember that season quite clearly. It was a unique season in that we won the league and Shield double, and no team had ever, as a second division team, won the FA Cup. So it became a unique treble, not triple. Obviously, triple belongs to the Premier treble, and we basically had challenged the boys that year. Coach previously had a chance to do it as a second division team coming up, and I was actually a player at the time. And we lost to Somerset in a replay, 1-0 up at Somerset. So when it came around this time, with the group of players that we had, we said, look, we pretty much cruised through first division, but we got to go back on the beach 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out, and we really put in some preseason work at the end of the season because we needed to make up the gap in relation to the pace and the endurance. And the team bought into it. Everyone committed, and most teams are tapering off because it's the end of the season. We actually ramped up like it was the beginning of the season, and basically I told the coaching staff at the time, we just need to get through 15 minutes. After that, we'll be okay.
Right.
In that 15 minutes, I say they will get a chance, but it's whether it goes in or it doesn't. And they did get a chance. They got a very big chance. And the goalkeeper came up very big to keep us in the game. And when we hit the 15-minute mark, I told the coaching staff, watch what happens now. Do the work that we had did for 3 weeks was then come to the forefront. And people were surprised how physically fit we were. Because as you said, Boulevard was a very exciting team at the time. And so we went on to win that. And it's history, So right now, we were the first, and we're still the only. FA Cup coming up from the second division.
George, let me ask you. 2 years ago, you guys went undefeated in the first division. How has that helped galvanize this young team that you're a part of?
I would say that core of the team is kind of still around, and they understand that we can perform to a level that can get us to 16-0. Yes, at a lower division, but I think in those times we were applying pressure to the top teams as well. And I think us understanding, at least the core, that we can perform at that level, and that that's the quality of football that we should aspire to, is always going to be on our mind.
Taniko, you've been around for quite some time with this team. You might be considered the old guy in the team, isn't it? Or one of them.
No, I think George is like the second crop of guys who are all like late 20s. So I'm like 6-7 years older than the younger crop of guys. Yeah.
So you've been through the waves of Devonshire Colts. Success in the Premier, having been relegated, and all of that type of stuff. What do you feel is different about this crop of players that you're with right now?
I think this is the first time in a long time we have a nucleus of maybe 8 to 12 guys who are around the same age, and they're really I think it's easier when you're playing amateur football. It's already hard. You got your job, family, all these other distractions that could stop you from coming training. But we have a lot of guys who grew up playing together, and I think it helps them to come training and don't want to be around their friends, rather than, just doing all the other things you could be doing other than football. And I think that's one big thing that has been a part of us this year is the commitment. We're probably one of the only teams on the island still that get 16 to 20 guys regularly on a training every single week. So that's probably the biggest thing I see. I mean, I've been through 3 different guard changes now in the last 12 years or so. I've been playing for Colts, so definitely seen a lot of guys come and go, but these guys all know each other. It feels like, they'll hopefully be around for 5-10 years, because I can see this team winning trophies going forward. Even though this will probably be my last hoorah, I definitely see this team being in contention over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Ray, you and I have often had conversations about how you've been able to get these young guys out to training on a regular basis. And you've always, you've told me about, 16 to 20 guys on training nights. What's been the success of that? What's been behind that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, in a jokingly way, as you know, Earl, I had said I was retiring.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, but thanks to Trey Meeing, it's a new definition to retire.
To retirement.
I followed Trey's lead and didn't quite retire. But what basically happened is the players had asked me to reconsider. Mm-hmm. And in my reconsidering, I basically just said to the players, if you want me to stay around, the only thing I need from you is to be committed to training. I've been doing this a long time. So if I have to get up and continue to leave home to come to training, we just need the players to be there. And kudos to them. They have been committed. They were committed before, but they have been committed since then. And then with Keston and Famous coming on board, younger guys with maybe some newer drills or just a different voice, getting more and more involved in these sessions themselves. I'm myself not having to do every bit of the whole coaching ecosystem. I think that's helped as well. And as those two coaches have grown, the players are starting to believe in them more, trust in them more. And I think that's just helped the process. Like right now, I'm actually, like I tell you, I would try to get on because I was traveling.
Right.
And training this week will continue as normal. And it shouldn't make no difference because basically those guys have pretty much been, doing it all season, a few times that they can make it, etc. So, yeah.
Yeah. Tanika, I'll come back to you because what Ray was just talking about, edit voices and different drills. What has this like new nuance of coaching been like? Because I mean, you guys were successful with Ray doing a lot of stuff by himself, but now he's got a team of people helping and doing other stuff. So what has this been like for you guys?
Yeah, no, I think the main thing, like Ray said, actually having people to help is now you can have separate drills. It's not just one, if we have 20 guys, maybe before we might just have to do 10 on 10 all season because it's just Ray, or all sessions, sorry. But now we can actually have, 2 or 3 different sessions going on that we all switch to. So we do 20, 25 minutes a session and then go over to the next guy. So it's been very helpful. I mean, we've worked a lot on ball possession this year, positioning, as well as a lot of shooting. So I think, our trainings are fun and everyone kind of looks forward to actually doing some stuff. And then, on a Tuesday, sometimes, Ray might say, yeah, it's fitness day, but I think we just have that competitive nature this year, which is something that maybe we've been missing, of guys, wanting to compete. So even on those fitness days, we have guys competing, trying to be first and win no matter what.
Yeah. George, you scored some important goals this season. When your team needs it. Being in that position to make sure that you guys get the best results you can get, and sometimes you obviously you have been that person outside of the regular guys up front scoring. How has that helped you personally in football for Devonshire Colts?
It pushes me. Ray talks to me all the time about being a leader and being a big player in the team. And him putting me in these positions to lead, to set the example. It puts me in a mind of let me go first and let me set the example. Let me be what I believe the team can be. And I think that helps me to keep encouraging everybody else. So when things aren't going the best, it encourages me to step up and try to push us forward.
Mm, mm. Ray, one of the things I think, again, you and I talk about a lot because you've been around so long, you could see when a player is nervous or not himself because of such as a big occasion coming up, the FA Cup final. How do you address those type of players on the day to ensure that you could snap them back into, this is just another game kind of thing? It's a big one, but it's another game.
But I think it all comes down to the preparation. If you don't overhype the game and you prepare as normal as we do every week, we prepare for the opposition that we're playing. We don't look past that week. So this week will be exactly the same. And then George will probably laugh at this. I always say, how many people in this team has played on the carpet in a top flight final? I'm normally probably the only one that can
Anyone?
So then the players in that themselves by making their about to say, but that's not going to be the same answer again next time you ask.
Damn right, for sure, absolutely.
So we also, we talk about who's won a top flight trophy. So they got tired of seeing there ain't too many hands up as that. So if there is some jitters, just to be able to shut the gaffer up on them, and just the only one putting his hand out, or one of a few, I think that's enough to get the jitters right out of them, because they want to be able to, at the next time the gaffer asks that question, be able to tell him that
they want to see more hands. They want to see more hands. Or something like that, George. How does that motivate you? Because obviously the coach is going to keep asking until he's not the only one, and now you guys have that opportunity to put one down automatically. One goes down because you're playing on the carpet. Now you have to. How many of you have won a big trophy? So you 90 minutes you got to do that, and then you could all smile at him because he won't be the only one.
Yeah. Ray's been saying it to us since I joined, which is probably about 4 seasons ago. And every time he says it, I shake my head. And this season, I've been like, it's not going to be too long that you're going to keep saying that to me, because some trophy is coming this way. So it's definitely I'm looking forward to the final. And I definitely believe, if I'm the only one, I doubt I'm the only one, but I definitely believe that both hands are going down this season. I'm going to be up the carpet, and there's definitely going to be a trophy under my name.
There you go. Yeah. Tanico, as somebody who's been through those other wars, still with this club, how special is this FA Cup for you?
Oh, this is great. I mean, it's my first FA Cup final. I wasn't a part of that 017. I'm old, but not that old. I'm approaching 35 in a couple of weeks, but yeah. So I mean, I've been telling the guys all season too. This is probably my last one. I mean, I've had a couple bad injuries, especially this year. I broke some ribs, so I was out for a few months. So coming back, kind of told them, this is my last chance. So please work for me. I'm the ill guy now. I need you guys to run for me. So please help me.
So they've even got more incentive rate to play even harder. So how, obviously you're off the island, but how does the coaching staff ensure that everything, like you said, because you want to make sure that it's a normal week of training. It's not no added pressure, no more the final and Sunday and all sorts of things like that. But how just ensuring that the coaching staff make things as simple as possible. How have you talked to them about that?
Yeah, so we have a blueprint as to how the week goes. So we discussed it on Saturday, in particular, on what will be tomorrow's session, what will be Thursday session, and then I will be back on Friday. So for our Saturday session, basically. And because we have the blueprint, like I said, it should be really no difference the players should feel right at home. Because like I said a few times this year, I have not been available for a few sessions where I have not even showed up at all, just based on work commitments.
Right.
And it was no change in behavior, attitude, output, enthusiasm. So pretty much expecting the same thing. Like before the boys came on, we had some lofty goals for this season. Coming runners up in the league. Most people would say you should be proud of that, but we thought we could have had one more. So here's the last chance, to win some silverware, to make the coach community proud, encouraging them to come out in droves, orange and white, but also make the younger players in the club proud. So that when they go to school, they could walk with their chest out high saying, I play for Devonshire Colts. So that's the other thing we're sure with the team. They're not just playing for themselves anymore. They're actually playing for the next generation. Their job is to inspire the next generation within the club. And I think this season they have definitely taken a big step in that direction. Because a lot of people this year has been talking about Devonshire Colts in a very positive way. And it only bodes well for the whole program that we are looked at as one of the marquee clubs again.
Yeah. To the two players, Ray was giving Island Stats Football Show some credit that we kind of motivate you guys week in and week out because we kind of, talk. I wouldn't say talk down, but don't give Colts a lot of credit. So you want to thank me too?
Oh no, thank you. I mean, no. Look, I mean, we definitely hear it, and we've heard it since coming up from First Division. Having that 16-0 season, everyone telling us, well, we're probably going to be in the relegation battle. But even last season, I thought, we were in that contender space for a while. But we probably just didn't have the depth we do this season, which probably has been the biggest change. So, we've been hearing it, but I think we believe in ourselves. We train hard. We know that, we have players with talent on the team, and Ray and the coaching staff bring us a good game plan. And we know if we stick to it, it's a good chance that we could always walk away for victory.
I think, a lot of times I do give credit to Colts. I think what happens is if I don't pick them, that's kind of the thing that goes around that, no confidence in Colts and no this and no that. But when you guys play, I do give you guys credit because again, and we talked about it last night on last night's show that, if it's probably only you lot in your circle that would have given you the opportunity to think that you would be in the position you're in as of today. Second place, or fighting for the league title, whatever, and in the FA Cup final, where I had you guys maybe mid-table. FA, and I said that last night. The FA it's a luck of the draw. You can if you're on a good streak, you can end up winning it all, kind of thing. But you guys have basically proved me wrong, which I'm glad because guess what? Now you've proved not only me, but a lot of other people wrong. And now you've gotten probably more supporters on your side to say, okay, they're a team to be reckoned with. Like Tinico just said, last year you didn't have the depth to stay in it, Ray. Where those last few games you guys fell off the wagon. But this season, hey, I honestly think if you guys would have had that makeup game with 3 games left, we might have had a different outcome of the season.
Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier before they came on, right? Scoreboard pressure. Haven't been around this game forever. Points on the board is more important than games in hand. And yeah, I really think scoreboard pressure probably would have played a bit more part. But not trying to slight Danny Tom's success. I mean, yes. I want to say congratulations to Danny Tom, the Danny Tom community, the players, the coaching staff. To get 43 points, I think last year's champions was 36 or 37 points. 37. Speaks volumes, for us to be on 41 and to say we're runners up. So it means Danny Tom had a good season. I thought they were probably the team that started the best. when I reflect on the Charity and Dudley and the first couple of league games, I thought they came out of the traps probably the fastest, and then they pretty much stayed consistent for the whole year. So, kudos to them, league champions. I thought once we got in our rhythm, we were in it, right? And in reflection, 2026, Earl, we only lost one game.
Yeah.
And, for the second half of a season, to say you only lose one game and you can't run us up speaks volumes for the champions, right? So you have to definitely give credit to Danny Ton and the success they had this year. So while on there, I know it was in the papers today, but I just like to say congratulations to them on their success.
Yeah. Anything special in store for Sunday with the players?
No, I know I came from an era where you do all this special stuff pre FA Cup or Cup final. And for some people, I think, Earl, that's when they become nervous. They become anxious because the other routine, all of a sudden we're doing things that we don't normally do. It makes people then contemplate what's about to happen. So, we're had the conversation, but I want to keep it as normal and consistent so that they can perform to the levels that they could perform at, versus overhyping it, putting all this special extra stuff, special sauce before, and I'm seeing that work negatively because then guys are saying, "Hey, wow, this is really big." To me, their rewards will come after the game, as far as the accolades or whatever else the club wants to do for them. But going into the game, we are prepared just like we have any other week.
All right. Well, I want to say all the best to you guys on Sunday. It's you're one final whistle away from being handed the trophy. So George, you just got to get other guys on that same vibe of you're not going to be the only ones after Sunday.
Right. Well, I hope, and I know that there's a lot more people than just me on my team that want to be able to tell Ray to stop asking that question.
All right. Well, gentlemen, again, good luck on Sunday. We'll hopefully be able to talk to you guys after the match, and add to Devonshire Colts' 5 victories in the FA Cup final, make it 6.
Yes, sir.
In 16 appearances. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
as well. Thank you.
Bye.